It's the top of my head. Are we live? Are we live? Hey guys! Oh, we got a hissing cat. Can you hear us okay? The waiting is the hardest part. Hey, now we're in the screen. Okay, so it's live stream from the Holler Neighbors. We are here. We don't have a topic tonight. I thought it'd be fun to talk about the workshop. Did you have fun at the workshop?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, did you have fun at the workshop? Yep. Why?
Good to hang out with all kinds of cool people.
Yeah, it is kind of fun to hang out with all sorts of people. If you guys have questions, you can throw them in the comments, by the way.
Is anybody else on?
Yes.
Okay. I can't see.
I only see if your parents are on if they comment. So, Dad, you got to comment if you want your son to know that you're on. So, why did you have fun at the workshop? What about it?
It was nice seeing my friends again, meeting the new people. Some of the people I've met before, some of the people I met at other.
This is a reminder. Tactical, take your vitamins to the coal.
Take your vitamins to the coal. Where are your vitamins? That happens at 7 o'clock every night.
This is a reminder.
Computer
Tactical,
cancel.
take your vitamins to the coal.
It only says it twice.
Still not listening to me.
Okay, cat's gone. Anyway, so you were saying, why was the workshop fun?
It was nice to see my friends again. Some of them I haven't seen for a while. They usually come out. Some of the other people I've met from previous workshops or down at Jack's when I went last year. And some people were new.
Did you like the new people?
Yeah.
What about the content?
Content was good.
Content was good. Anything specific, like, jump out at you? Either of you?
No.
I liked Pugliano's segment.
Yeah.
Just not expecting him to go where he did with that.
Yeah.
That's true. I was not expecting the visual aids to tie into his speech.
The visual aids. He had guns. He related different phases of starting or building knowledge for your business to different guns.
No, it was all about the financial, not business.
Oh, I took it as
financial aspect.
Yeah, but you have to learn the skills of the financial aspect. I'm sorry. I applied it to business immediately. They
That's 'cause
didn't.
You're not an entrepreneur.
I'm a solopreneur.
Mm.
I don't know why you two are always around me, though. I'm not very solo right now.
You keep inviting us here. I can leave.
Okay, so while the workshop was going on, the plants grew. The weeds grew. It's still peak weed here, right?
Yep.
So I've been pulling weeds like every morning.
You need more goats.
But the goats don't pull weeds. They eat plants.
You need more goats.
But I don't want them to eat the garden plants. So I have to pull the weeds around the garden
You need more
plants.
goats. But
If you would just finish the freaking goat fence, I would get another goat. Was that the right answer?
No, you need more goats. Because eventually, if they eat enough plants, then we can eat the goat.
You can't eat clover. Clover is a non-edible goat.
So you need to get more goats. So then you can.
So you're gonna raise.
You
where are you raising these meat goats exactly?
back there in the fence, I haven't finished building yet.
Back there in the fence, you haven't finished building. How are you gonna keep those goats fed?
There's plenty of weeds
You have to
around here.
rotate them around. Does that mean rotational grazing?
There's more than enough weeds in the holler to support that.
Hi, Carrie. We're really good at growing weeds here. Something exciting happened today, though. Will the goats eat the weeds? The goats will eat the weeds, but they will eat my beets, too. So today, I was weeding the beet patch, and I looked down, and they were ready to harvest some of them. So I got, like, this many beets and this many greens. So tonight, I am making Aunt Helen's pickled beets. I just boiled them because the way I do it is I boil the beets and then let them cool. and then I peel them because you can just like squeeze them in your fingers and the peel comes off. And if you don't wear gloves, you do end up with pink hands when you do this. So that's just my full disclosure there. Usually I just don't wear gloves and I have pink hands. It's fine. Don't do that with black walnuts. Different story. Lasts for weeks. The pink only lasts overnight. And then you pack them into mason jars with different spices. And then I have for Aunt Helen's recipe, I add a hot pepper too. So like dill, hot pepper, nutmeg, clove, ginger, stuff like that. Then peppercorns, garlic, and then the brine is a vinegar sugar mix. So it's a sweet beet, and she uses a lot of sugar in her beets. Those of you who were at the workshop got to try Aunt Helen's pickled beets. I had two kinds. I had just straight up pickled beets. Aunt Helen's recipe. Aunt Helen's recipe is not keto. Anyway, so I'm going to do a batch of those tonight with beets I grew myself. And they're going to be in little jars because I think I'll get 2 little jars if I'm lucky out of what I harvested today. But I'm super excited because I've been trying to grow beets for 10 years. Not the last 10 years, but over the last 14 years, 10 of those years, I tried to grow beets. And I grew beet greens. I did grow beet greens. And the first year, I got like 5 beets with they were the style that had red and then white, red, white stripes. They were really cool. And then when you cook them, they're beet colored. It all turns red. But it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. And I grew them in 2 places this year, and they only beeted out in 1 place. So I have beet greens in the upper garden, and I have actual beets on the hillside. I can't believe I was successful. It was like, this is the thing. If you're going to be good at growing food, you have to be good at killing plants. I've killed a lot of beets. Killed a lot of beets. Okay. Pink happens too after digesting beets, just saying. Thank you, Carrie. Yes, that's true. I got one of my friends into beets, and she texted me a week later and said, "You didn't warn me that I might think I had to go to the emergency room after eating beets." Yeah. Oops. It's kind of like asparagus, only beets. So on that note, that was my exciting thing today. What was your exciting thing that happened today? I'm going to ask you the same question.
I survived the VA.
He went and saw a vampire today. Why'd you go to the vampire?
My blood, like 12 vials of blood.
Anyway, they're doing blood work on him at the VA. Tell me what it was like driving up to the VA post-COVID.
Oh my God. All they needed was the Constantina wire and the machine gun nest, and it would have been the perfect set for a zombie movie.
So there are barriers all up everywhere and stuff like that?
There's barriers, there's cones, there's like 3 different checkpoints to get in. Like you had to get a wristband. Like,
you had to wear a mask?
Yeah, you had to wear a mask.
Did you remember your mask?
Yeah, I actually did remember my mask.
Oh, I'm proud of you. You left and I was like, you might not have brought a mask.
I actually remembered right before I left to grab it.
That's good. I got to wear my favorite mask today.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead one. It's my favorite. I wish I had like 9 of those things. And I wish they had more like zombie-looking zombies on them, but oh well. Okay. What's the most exciting thing that happened to you today, Nighthawk?
I did practically nothing all day.
How tired are you?
I'm very tired.
Well, show them what you're drinking tonight.
Some Holler Roast
That right
coffee.
there is a Holler Roast coffee.
I did nothing, and
He's
I'm
like,
so tired.
I'm tired. I'm like, well, you could have a cup of coffee. Caffeine might pep you up. So later when he can't sleep, he's going to be pissed at me. Right?
I'll call you and let you know.
Yeah. My phone's on silent anyway when I'm sleeping.
I'll come down, bang on your door, and let you know. And
Okay.
if that doesn't wake you up, the dogs will.
It's amazing how tired doing nothing makes you.
I know, right? It doesn't make any sense.
Jason Elliott says he wants a crochet mask. Okay, anybody on here crochet? Jason Elliott wants one crocheted. Do you want a real loose crochet?
Oh, I actually did see somebody with a leather one today.
A leather mask.
Yeah.
Were they
That's
carrying
funny.
a whip?
No.
Doing nothing sounds like what my kids do every day. Cleansing act. I'm sorry, I can't read this. Listen to the whole of Ario Guthrie's Alice's Restaurant to cleanse your mind. We should do that tonight. That's a good idea. We could listen to that while pickling beets. Jenny needs a coffee. Come on over. New Hampshire presentation at the workshop was great. Nighthawks. You're not New Hampshire. You're Nighthawk. NH. I saw you NH and thought that. So Chris says he liked your presentation.
Oh, good.
Did you like giving your presentation? Nighthawk kicked the whole thing off. So. Why? Why do you say that?
Well, it's nice to be able to kick the whole thing off.
Yeah.
It was not nice that I was up in front of everybody.
Yeah, a lot of people took on their fears at this workshop, and a couple of them presented who had a fear of presenting, and I'm outing you, but you're one of those people. Mm-hmm. He said it at the workshop. There was another person who doesn't have a love of speaking in front of people who did a great job talking in front of folks. So I was really, since the theme was grow, it was kind of cool that a couple people popped out who were like, I'm kind of afraid of presenting, but I want to present this thing. What do you think? And yeah, I thought that went really well.
Yeah. Much prefer to be behind the scenes than up in front of people.
Yeah, Nighthawk is a state unto himself. He has just been declared a state. Cheers.
I'm a state?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
is that good or bad?
I don't know. I saw NH and I thought New Hampshire. And then
NH. Wow. How did you get NH out of there?
How do you spell your name?
Nighthawk.
With an N or a K?
K.
Right.
Like the night.
Hey. I did good figuring that out, New Hampshire. I'm going to start calling it New Hampshire. This is iced tea, by the way, that I made. New recipe. I used a cinnamon spice sort of tea and then normal iced tea. And then I filled it with lime and orange slices and did sun tea. And it's the pith in the orange is bitter, so it has like a pith bite, which is kind of nice. Because I've been looking for mocktail recipes, and it's not quite a mocktail, but it has that bitter thing that alcohol has without the alcohol. Hello from the other holler. Hello, Mark and Nancy. Good to see you here. Chris goes, oops. Chris, who told me you were New Hampshire. Chris, it's great. He's New Hampshire from now on. Most people spell his name Nighthawk with an N.
No, they just spell it incorrectly then. And
Brian says he doesn't have to submit to your laws. It looks like bourbon on the rocks. It's not. It's iced tea on the rocks. By the way, if you drink the stuff warm, it's way too bitter. You got to ice it. It's iced tea for a reason. Iced tea for a reason.
I had one of those earlier.
So I'm going back on keto and looking to lose another 10 pounds. I'm really happy to say that after the workshop, I did not gain any weight. And I was not watching what I ate at the workshop. And I was certainly not watching what I ate before the workshop and the whole week after either. So super happy about that. And then the hike with Mom was really fun. I discovered that I get blisters on my feet when I walk that far, though. So I need to figure that out because one of my toes like folds under the other toe. And right there, it's right where it gets the blister. But we had a great time. Weather was perfect. I got up there. I learned a really important backpacking lesson. The lesson I learned is when you pack your sleeping pad, which is in its own little sleeping pad bag, make sure that what's in the bag is the sleeping pad. I'm really lucky that it was not a cold night because my sleeping bag does not have insulation on the underside because it's made to have a sleeping pad pushed up in there. And I got up all the way to the campsite, all the way, which was like 7.5 or 8 miles. And no sleeping pad. No sleeping pad. So I slept on the ground. It was fine. Also, I'm getting a new sleeping bag sometime in the next year because that's a stupid design. What if you forget your sleeping pad? What if your sleeping pad develops a hole and you can't patch it? Then you're cold if the ground is cold. Okay.
That's why they make hammocks.
Nope.
I don't like the position it puts my back in. Hammocks are uncomfortable.
No, they are very comfortable.
Moleskin might help. Yep, I used paper tape, Chris. It worked really well. Sleeping pads are optional. Yeah, whatever. Same for Angel and I, especially since I'm back with the weights. Yep, 3 times a week. So, guys, on that note, I'm back to keto. This means mocktail recipes. Right now, I have this iced tea as my evening mocktail. And I do this thing where I take fruit-infused vinegar and I put a cap full and then I top it with fizzy water. I don't like sweet drinks, so I'm not looking for fake sweet mocktails, but I am like totally looking for mocktail ideas so I can continue to have a different drink every night. Otherwise, I'm going to be making the same sun tea drink every night. It's not as fun. What was in the sleeping pad bag instead of the pad? It was a blow-up chair. And my mom saw it. She's so sweet. So the reason I was even able to go backpacking, Mom gave me her old backpack years ago because she's an avid hiker, like long distance hiker, like John Muir Trail for 20 days, sort of long distance. And she gave me her extra tent, or not her extra tent, her extra backpack. And I never used it. And I was like, I got to get off my butt and do this. So I have hiking boots and I have some gear, but not all the gear. So she brought her gear. She brought me an extra tent that she has because she had 2 tents. And so because of that, and I had the sleeping bag and the sleeping pad, and she had the stove, but then she forgot her stove, but we borrowed a tactical stove. So between everybody, there was enough gear for us to go backpacking. And I wanted to go out and see, like, what gear do I really think I need and want? Because you don't want to just gear up because everything you add to your bag's heavy. And I didn't know because I hadn't gone backpacking in 16 years. And I didn't know if I'd have fun because last time I went backpacking, it wasn't that fun. And so we got out. I had a great time, by the way. Now I'm all about backpacking. But she had given me for Christmas a blow-up pillow and a blow-up chair thing and the camping pad. And 2 of the 3 items made it up. And I probably wouldn't have brought the blow-up chair, actually. But I ended up using my fleece under my body to insulate from the ground, and then it was fine. I fell off the keto wagon at Thanksgiving. Jason, get on the keto wagon with me. We'll hold each other accountable. I need to be accountable because there's still potato chips in my house from the workshop. I've almost given them all away now, though. I gave away like 3 loaves of bread and all of the energy bars yesterday. I do fizzy water and kombucha. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. In fact, we got to start that kombucha.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Walden Pickling Beats, you want to do kombucha too?
Guess so.
Okay. If you're into gin and tonic, I am. Lemon lime with diet tonic water. Ooh, but diet water. Do they make tonic water? Like, why does it have to be diet? Does it have sugar in it? Okay. I could just do fizzy water and lemon. I've done that. I need to be, okay, LFTN, let's be keto accountable for 1 month. Starting in July, except for I'm starting now, but we're starting July 1st, keto the whole month, even though it's Independence Day and there's going to be cake. You can do this. Can you steep pine needles and then substitute that for gin? Oh, that's, they make spirits without alcohol now. I want to try some of those too. Speaking of accountability,
Seems like waste.
Yeah, you need quinine for the tonic thing. True. I'll tell you what, one time I was really sick. I get air sick on planes sometimes. I was really sick. And we take off, and I'm in the front row, and so they come through and they ask you for the drink. They don't do that anymore because of COVID, but whatever. They used to do this thing where they ask you what you want to drink. And I was like, fizzy water, I'm not feeling very well. And she goes, oh, drops her thing, walks back to the stewardessy area, hands me a drink immediately, and I take a drink thinking it's going to be fizzy water. It was tonic. It almost came out my mouth again because I was not expecting tonic water. And then I was like, ooh, but embarrassment. So I swallowed it and then I sipped on it. I was like, gosh, not what I was expecting. And she's like, yeah, the quinine helps with nauseousness. I was like, that's a really good trick to know. Next time, I'll ask for it rather than be surprised by it. That was a fun little adventure. How does honey fit into keto? I like several tablespoons in my big cup of coffee. Well,
Honey and coffee?
Honey doesn't fit into
Really?
keto, Jason. But if you're going to have a sweetener, that's a really good sweetener to have. Yeah, honey and coffee is great. I do it sometimes too. Saturday coffee gets honey. So to find out how many carbs that
I
is,
haven't heard of that.
look up how many carbs is in a tablespoon of honey. And then this might be your carbs for the day. I don't know. I get most of my carbs from vegetables, but it's, it's going to put you, it might push you. You might have to reduce, like start by reducing. What else? When the hops come in, I'm going to try brewing them in sun tea. That's a really good idea. Do you have hops at your house, Carrie? I keep threatening to put some in here, but you can already see I'm not keeping up on what I have, so I haven't done that. That thing I said earlier about dramatically expanding the garden, that didn't work. We're going to do great on tomatoes this year, though.
Hopefully peppers, too.
And maybe peppers. And probably beans. Squash. I might get pumpkins off that one pumpkin plant, but I didn't ever get the upper garden planted, really. It's it's got patches of things up there, but I didn't get it done. I need to get a garden fork. That'll help me plant things faster. So soda water and tonic are different. Yes. The tonic has quinine. Yeah. Jason, you might have to reduce the honey a little bit. A lot. And Brian says he needs to do zoodles. I like zoodles.
What's zoodles?
Skinny guys don't need to worry about zoodles.
Okay.
I'd still like to try it.
I've probably served it before.
I don't even know what it is.
You take zucchini and you take this device and it makes little noodle shapes out of your zucchini. Then you put salt on it and you do this and you let the extra zucchini water drip out, which totally will happen. And then you use that instead of pasta. And it's a basically very low carb pasta.
Did you make that before?
I've made that before.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I was saying I'm surprised he doesn't think he's tasted it.
I don't remember you making it.
It sounds kind of familiar, but I can't.
Last summer was quite the summer. There's a lot going on. Yeah, so are we good with Keto Accountability Month for July? You know what we did last year in July at LFTN? It was as if I knew we were going to need this skill. It was no grocery store. You weren't allowed to go to the grocery store in July last year. It was like you were allowed to go to the farmer's market. You were allowed to my herd share. I could get my milk from another farm, but no grocery stores to see how well our pantries were doing. Do you guys remember that?
You had one exception for that.
Oh yeah, you could choose one thing,
yep.
Right? Yeah, you could choose one thing that you were allowed to go to the store for, like coffee or whatever. I chose cheese.
No, you chose half and half.
I chose half and half. Oh yeah, because I didn't have the herd share.
Mm-hmm.
So, did I run out of cheese?
I don't know. I don't eat it.
I don't think so.
I don't think I did. I probably ran out of the fun cheeses, but
I know you ran out of chocolate.
Yeah, so it was the grocery store challenge.
You gonna do that again?
How many of us did that for longer than 4 weeks this winter? We just did it. Yeah, I was like, we did it without any warning in March.
Like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do that again?
I mean, I'm willing to do it again. I don't really need to go to the grocery store. I actually just put my pantry order in, so everything's being delivered. This is the other thing that's cool about COVID. Things I couldn't formerly get delivered now get delivered. Yes. So now I'm down to perishables. I have on my list bacon and challah rice. I got to get that bag of challah rice if I'm not going to the grocery store for a month because I'm going back on keto, and challah rice is completely foundational for me to that.
Only one of those is important.
Challah rice. Yeah.
That's not the one that's important.
He hates cauliflower. He hates everything.
I do not.
Do you like broccoli?
No.
Yeah.
I can tolerate it.
He tolerates it. Do you like tomatoes?
No.
Yeah, we were very prophetic about the no grocery challenge. I should actually ask everybody who did that challenge with me if they think they did better during the shutdowns because of that. Challah rice is cauliflower basically cooked and turned into little rice-sized things. You use it instead of rice. It helps with keto because it's lower carb. It has carbs. So it's another way to trick yourself into you think you're having a rice dish.
No, it's not.
But you're not. But it takes on the flavor of just anything around it, unless you're him and then you hate it because it's got the word cauliflower in it.
It does not taste good. It does not taste good.
See what I'm up against here? What do you think about color ice?
I like it.
You like it? I see you've acquired a cat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Warner is my friend.
Yeah, Jenny, I love color ice too. And they sell it at Sam's Club in big bags, and I can get back into Sam's Club now. So, yeah. I don't know. So today, I did my monthly, it's time to refill the pantry ordering. And it almost went normal. It's like the first time since my February order kind of went normal. Ever since then, it's always like, and now where am I going to find the X or the Y or the Z? This time, I started at Sam's Club and did the order of things. And I had, my list was paper towels, sponges, laundry detergent, 2 kinds of oil, olive oil and avocado oil, color ice, cat litter, bacon. That's what we needed. So it's not it's not that big a deal, right? Big deal. So I go to Sam's Club and I'm only able to knock out, toilet paper. They had toilet paper, so I got some. It wasn't on the list, but it was the one I like instead of the one I have here that I don't like, so I got it because I'm fussy. So they had that and one other thing I can't. Oh no, they didn't even have cat litter. They had toilet paper and some other thing, and I ordered them. And then the next thing I did is I went to Walmart, and Walmart had for free shipping, 2-day shipping, everything else with the exception that the sponges were $21 for 9 sponges. Would you spend $21 for 9 sponges? I wouldn't either. So I went on to Amazon and got the same thing for $6.95. So I got that from Amazon, and everything else from Walmart was cheaper than on Amazon. So it's like you have to compare all these things. But so that was kind of cool because none of that requires me going to a store. And now, when I needed pickling salt, because we're doing, if you guys don't know, there's a webinar Saturday at 2. Nobody signed up for it. And if nobody does, I'm not going to do it. I'll end up rescheduling it some other time because if people can't go to the one on Saturday, there's no point in me just talking to a computer. But I'm doing the Introduction to Canning webinar for members, and I needed pickling salt for that. So I got the pickling salt at the store, and now I'm down to, as I said, the color ice and the bacon. So that's something I have to go into the store for because it's perishable, and they haven't figured out how to get that to the Holler. Why do you think they can't get it to the Holler? Other people get their perishables delivered. It must be the 25-minute drive from the store to here.
Oh, I mean, if it's color rice, they're just doing you a favor by not delivering it.
I love color ice.
Stupid people are 25 minutes from here.
The webinar's at 2 p.m. Saturday Central Time. It'll be an hour to an hour and a half. We're going to go through water bath canning, basic canning safety, the equipment you need versus the equipment you might want. And I'm going to do pickles with actual cucumbers. For those of you at the workshop, I know where I'm getting cucumbers, so hopefully that still happens. And then we'll just talk, so it's like the basics of water bath canning with the first project in the series of 8 projects that I recommend you step through to learn how to do canning, because pickles are the easiest thing in the world. Brian says he can get almost anything delivered but beer. That's too bad, because they've loosened the laws in Tennessee about delivery of beer, and restaurants can deliver beer. You just need to live closer to a restaurant. That's all I got. Only did pickles once, the first time I canned, but have 10. Oh yeah, if you have 10 cucumber plants, you probably should see this webinar. And also, I am going to record it, but it's kind of silly to do it if there's nobody live. And I may have just chosen a weird time because it was kind of a rolling time this month with everything going on with the workshop. So I can just do 2 webinars in July if this Saturday is a really bad day for people. And I know that one of the side hustle working groups is meeting right before it. So their call is at noon Central. That's why I put it at 2 so that call could be over and everybody could anybody from that call who might want to go on could have time to, go for a walk, eat lunch, blow their nose, but don't blow it if you have COVID. Yeah, New Jersey has legal alcohol deliveries too.
That's surprising.
Yep. What aren't you going to need in July? Oh, beer. Yeah, oh, because you're going keto with us. All right. LFTN challenge. Woo, woo, woo. You don't have to go keto, though. You're too skinny.
I think I'm going to opt out on that challenge.
Oh, come on. You can stand to lose 10 more pounds.
Where?
You'd think I never feed these guys. I actually kind of don't. Jason. Oh, your pickles come out soft. I guess maybe I'll cover that on the webinar too. That's a good idea because you can lime them or you can use grape leaves to make them crisper. But they're going to be, like, even if you raw pack them, if you can them properly, they're probably going to be a little softer than store ones. I like to ferment them first too, but that's a totally different level of pickle making. The beard. What beard? You need to lose 20 more pounds? Well, if you don't want to do the keto challenge, but you still want to do the weight loss challenge, that's cool. That's from a person who actually gets her exercise. I got on the rower today for the first time in 3 weeks. I was like, I'm getting on the rower. If I'm not in the pool, I'm on the rower. I want to go to the pool Sunday, though. Can I go to the pool Sunday? They're open. Pools are open here. Okay, guys, any other questions for us before we sign off? I think we're kind of nearing the end of our time period anyway. You guys want to see my tomatoes? I've determined pickles are better bought. Okay. Don't worry about that. I don't even need to. Okay, we'll see if this works. This is why I wish I had like cell phone approval at YouTube. First of all, I'm going to do a tour soon, but like from inside here, that's how shaded it is in my screened-in porch. And a couple of days ago, it was hot, and I walked from where that isn't into the screened-in porch, and the temperature dropped normally, like noticeably, and that was cool. But check this out. Remember when I did that show and they were like this tall? These are the tomatoes all the way up to the roof, past the roof, all the way along. And I'm going to tilt it. Pretty cool, huh? And so we were testing if the buckets were better or the pipes. And what I've come to the conclusion of is that they're both doing pretty much the same. And the only thing is what I'm doing here, I'm going to top these tomatoes so they stop getting taller. And I'm starting new ones down low, and then we'll trim up so that another layer comes up. And I don't think I can do that with the pipes, with the pipe tomatoes, because like the roots are all up in there. If you want to look down the port here, I don't know if you can see, but there's like tons of tomato roots down there. I can't tell. Anyway, if you didn't see, just trust me. Nothing like holding a computer and giving you the up the nose shot. Nose. But check this out, like prolific. And I think, Crystal, what's made this work really well is that we're pumping water into each tomato bucket. If you look, there's that is the water. Yeah. And then it goes through a drain. So the water's moving through the bucket constantly. But they're doing great. And like, I keep waiting. I expect these to get ripe first. And I keep coming out and doing this every morning. But now this one looks like it might be starting to turn. And I think that's a Timmy. So as far as the blight goes, I have this plant right here is starting to get the blight. You can see it right there. So I've been cutting these off. I've taken a cutting from this to restart the plant. But it didn't stop the plant on the blight on that plant. And I think that's one of my heirlooms. So that's the 100-year-old, 140-year-old seed I saved. And it's the only one with the blight, and it's not passing it on to the other ones yet. So hopefully we have cracked the blight problem. We'll see. I was just reminded by a little bird that I need to make hummingbird food tonight too. So it is a jungle, Hat. It is a jungle. So those are the tomatoes. And I'm going to do an update video on that for YouTube that's a little bit more explainy and a little bit less juggly computery. But yeah. Anyway, if they root in the gutter, that would be interesting. Yes, that would actually be hilarious. They probably can. It's been raining enough this week. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. Once we get up to 1,000 subscribers, I can use my phone, and like tours are a lot easier with the phone because I'm not juggling a computer. But we have a really fun interview tomorrow. I can't wait. And I will talk to you guys then. Make it a great week.